All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, night, wherever you are joining us today. My name is Night Falcon. I want to welcome you to this matchup here of the Winter War League between RMC Royal Marine Commandos and GOAT. Eagerly waiting the matchup between these two. Just waiting for the last couple people to go ahead and funnel on in. We'll get this thing going here. So appreciate you guys for joining us. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on with the rules on the backside. So a little bit different than what we work with some other leagues. But with Winter War League, nodes are going to be destroyable. Teams will be responsible for going ahead and getting those up, of course, if they want to have them. But they can be destroyed by the enemy. So you got to keep an eye on that throughout the course of the match to see if those are going up, going down. And if they go down, you got to get them right back up. So kind of a constant battle between those guys. Also, protected arty. So we're going to have one man only on the gun. They do allow for SPAs to be able to be used here in the Winter War League. And so if we do have somebody on the arty gun, they're going to be on the gun by themselves. Nobody's going to be helping them. But then if a squad decides to go out in an SPA, they're allowed to do so, with the exception of them not being able to get out and move around too much. They can't leave the tank area of the SPA. They can get out to defend it, like defuse a satchel and whatnot, but they're not able to go ahead and do anything else aside from being inside the tank and helping that out. So be fun to kind of see where that all kind of lands and goes from there. The last one heavy tank has been banned from both sides. I believe in this match, the Tiger tank is going to be the only one the Axis are going to be able to use. And the Churchill is going to be the only heavy tank that the Allies are allowed to use. So with that, let's go ahead. We're going to jump on into the action here now that everybody's kind of gotten in. Map flip has happened. Last point will be guard room. So here's a caster. You like to get a little bit of the defensive points, at least for being in an objective. So we'll go ahead and run around here. Enter admin cam. Jump on up into the sky here. So appreciate you guys joining us today. For, I believe, matchup here between RMC and GOAT. We're going to be fighting over Desert Rat Caves as the midpoint here. So we do have the advantage of being an officer for the matchup today. So we will be able to see any of the command pings that go out on the RMC side. Won't have it for the benefit on the GOAT side, but we will be able to see if the commander calls in anything from there. So I'll do my best to keep an eye on that top left corner. That will help me know if it's coming from the allied side, or sorry, the friendly side, which would be RMC, or if it's coming from the GOAT side. I won't see that, but I'll see it on the map here. So just a few seconds before we go ahead and get the match started here. Let's go ahead and talk about the point just a little bit here. So Desert Rat Caves kind of has high ground around through there and high ground around through there. A kind of little valley down into caves that are centralized down here on the southern side. So allies, you're going to see a lot of people probably crash right up here. Axis, you're going to see people crash here. Probably go straight into point there. Allies crash there. So we're going to be looking for those four main sections. As far as it goes for the way of tanks, looks like we got a medium coming out of the middle, 2 Luxes spawned on top, and then a recon Puma down in the south. So RMC going with 4 total tanks, whereas we've got it looks like the medium and a light Stewart up at the top here for the allies. So here we go. Let's go ahead and see if either team has been able to prep any snipes for this matchup as we start to see these guys come on in. Trucks coming in for the allies on the east. Lux shots already pounding off into the distance. Nothing going up in smoke quite yet for the allies as they're jumping on into the point here. SDM Chris, though, ready on top of the truck to go ahead and throw whatever rocket he can at any unsuspecting RMC truck as it starts to come in as well. So we can see top left of the screen, we're going to be fighting a little bit of a haze today with the dust storms as they come in. See the Axis starting to jump in with Gazpar, Tubes jumping out of their trucks respectively. So it's starting to get a lot of people out inside of the trenches already. Whippy, Ohio right here, making the deepest run go ahead. He'll probably be the first to contact. Let's go ahead and see what he looks like as he dips and dives and dodges his way through the caves here. Whippy, Ohio, making the run. Throwing a grenade. It looks like Whippy, for the moment, sitting right in between three separate his forces who are just trying to get in there and get some action going. Whippy going wild with the Piat, though, already getting a pen into the side of the Lux. Somehow, Whippy staying alive there as the rest of his teammates seem to kind of fall as they get into there. Whippy will be one we'll keep our eye on here, as he's also another caster. I invite you all to go ahead and take a look at his channel. But I guess I might be a little biased as well, as Whippy hails from my home clan as well, kind of helping out GOAT in their overall strategy here in the Winter War League. It looks like Whippy finally met his end there as he falls victim to the Lux. Cap progress still going in favor here of the RMC side. Lord Banana Jesus on this Sabbath. I guess not Sabbath necessarily for everybody. Sunday. Let's just do Sunday here. Lord Banana Jesus gracing us with his presence here. Maybe he'll be able to turn some of these branches, some of these leaves into bananas. Maybe that's his special power. The power of summoning bananas. Quite beneficial in a place like this. Sands of Tobruk. Now nearing about 60% of the way here, capped for RMC as they continue to flood down into the point. GOAT is pushed out of most of the area here, so to the south. As another spawn comes in, this Lux really doing a lot of damage here on the southern side to these GOAT little raspberries and cherries here. And not to be deterred, they keep on pushing into the point. It's like an allied strafing ring coming on in. SPA already launching off from the backside. We did see the round come in for the SPA. Let's see where that's going to land. Nope. Not seeing it. It should have already hit by now. With that, initial cap does go in favor of the blue team here. RMC here on the friendly side. We'll go ahead and take away that background music. I do apologize that that was there during the opening. Maybe it did make a little bit more cinematic entrance here to the opening. But each and everything in OBS has a switch. If I forget to flip it, which I normally do, hashtag ADHD for life. Sometimes they just go ahead and stay on. So GOAT, let's go ahead and take a look. They did a very good job at getting OPs right back up. Even though they were lost right off the flip, once RMC captured that Desert Rat Caves, they would have lost all their spawns. Officers on the GOAT side doing very well to go ahead and get those right back up, making sure that their guys have a good place to spawn. Whippy, Ohio, and Classy both trying to move up the trenches here. Here's what we got. Classy running as an officer. I'm used to seeing him with some type of big boom boom stick in his hand. Looks like he's traded out for an officer watch, moving up in the world. Well done, my sir. That'll be a good flare here for GOAT as they go ahead and try to find a way back into this point. RMC continues to go ahead and move around, slowly weeding out all of the GOAT raspberries. Little cherries. I like to call them cherries. Other streamers like to call them raspberries, so I kind of get it stuck in my head. Go ahead and take a look and see exactly how this fight up here to the north is going here as Bristol moves on up to the ledge. Now, just as I was kind of saying, where Cabo Chavito and that spawn from that OP just came in, That's going to be the major area focus that this northern squad can have to get itself into the point, as it offers the most beneficial cover from anything on the western side. However, if anybody gets close, as we can see Wolfie and Bristol starting to do, it really puts that OP in danger, as it can be popped pretty much by anybody that hits that second level of the ridge there. The Whippy Ohio's is kind of running up over there right now. Ash flanking all the way to the north here, though, going unspotted by a lot of the GOAT defenders. As Ash takes shots at Mayor McCready, but deciding to play the odds and go ahead and dip around the side a little bit, maybe rethinking his decision here. Let's zoom on in as Ash contemplates his options. Ash getting an eye on that area down the row here a little bit. Most likely saw those spawns coming in. Lux having to dodge very closely to the side of the rock there, narrowly missing friendly Ash. Ash able to get a box down here for his friendly officers to go ahead and get a spawn up here for a garrison. Good awareness. For all of you support players at home, make sure you are dropping boxes as quickly and as often as they become available. Help you, help your team, help your commanders. Your commanders will definitely thank you. Cazador found himself into a good little spot here as he hides secretively here behind the back side of the point. Unknown to the little blueberries right above him. All right, so let's hop up into the Falcon camera here today, get a bird's eye view of what's going on. We can see already RMC starting to get some incursions down here on the southern side, getting a garrison up already on the south side with K squad already getting a good push up here into the point. This is having to vote, and this is going to make GOAT devote a good number of people back into the point to ultimately try to help out with the defense. So if RMC is able to continue that push, be interesting to see how long the GOAT defenders can go ahead and hold, or if they'll be able to weed it out. Right now, GOAT's still trying to come right up the gut, even though they're trying to fight against two separate tanks. We got one Lux here on the north. Looks like we got a medium that's making its way, little Panzer IV, making its way along that road. But overall, not too bad when it comes to garrisons for GOAT. Got 1, 2. Could potentially have another one. Okay, just as we say it, C Squad is able to put one up right here in the front door. It's going to be kind of open, but with that, we do start to see the point flickering a little bit here for GOAT. Let's go ahead and take a look over at 8th Army Medical Hospital, as we can see a giant spawn wave starting to come off. As 5 blueberries look to move into the 8th Army Medical Hospital. Now keep in mind, those little cherries inside the medical hospital are inside the hard cap, giving a little bit extra cap weight. And that's why it looks like they would be losing it at a 3 to 4. But Captain Foxtrot, for sure, and San Martin, it looks like, also would be in that hard cap, would be contributing 1 extra capture point. So they count technically for 2 people rather than just the 1. Andios continues to continue rockets flying off into the side here, allowing his support truck here to come on in. Unbeknownst to them, they've got a couple little blueberries right here. Gets 1 shot on him. Snow continuing to move around. Zavala. Able to get out of the truck, though, escaping Snow for the moment. Snow getting shots off, but so is Zavala. Getting one of them. Snow able to finish it out, though. Ending up with RMC having the advantage out of that gunfight. All right, let's turn our attention away from this sector for just the moment. We will go ahead and come on back. See how GOAT's faring here over on Desert Rat Caves. Classy and Whippy, Ohio still leading the charge here into Desert Rat Caves. Whippy, Ohio takes out 1. Classy falling to the respawn wave here. Let's go into our X-ray vision so we can go ahead and see all of the respective bodies here as Whippy Ohio and Willie go at it. Whippy able to take out Willie. Moving closer and closer. Should be able to wipe that OP here relatively soon. But Tubbs able to go ahead and get into position, saving that OP. Good work on Tubbs' part to eliminate Whippy Ohio from his rampage along that southern side. And we can see cap progress starting to come in on 8th Army. Go ahead and slowly make our way over there. See how RMC is faring as they now have a cap majority. No sooner had I said it that they lost it. Trying to keep this camera movement relatively smooth and slower for you guys. This map likes to have a tendency of dropping frames, which can cause some skippy video. So we want to make sure I try to keep it as nice and easy as possible for you guys. But big gunfights right now. They're going to kind of decide the next few minutes of this point here. Mufasa, though, taken out, leaving Empire all by themselves. That's going to allow the cap progress to tilt back in favor of Goat here on the defensive point. And also, they're going to start capturing a little bit more on the attacking point here. So Desert Rat Cave starting to move in favor of Goat as Goat appears to now have claimed the entire southern portion, forcing RMC into the high ground. We have a garrison. We still have a garrison up on point. Appears to be right behind that tent right there. Nope, not behind the tent. Big spawn wave right off the garrison, right in the middle. Unbeknownst to Whippy Ohio, Classy, all three of them mowed down by the spawn wave that came off of that garrison. But if Goat can win these gunfights, that could be huge to allow them to get back into this point and keep that cap pressure going as Lucky Bats moving on up into the garrison. Wolfie not able to track him. Will Lucky Bats be able to get the garrison? He does, as we hear a bombing run coming in. Appears to be for the Axis. As a bombing run comes over the southern side, we did not see a commander prompt. Even being in the cave, not safe enough for them. The cap progress still coming in here for Goat. Nearing closer and closer to 75% of the way capped. Does get contested for just a brief moment. But now starting to force them out of the north. Goat doing a lot of good work here on the north side to go ahead and clear out RMC, as RMC appears to may have gotten a little overextended as they tried to push off with the constant Goat pressure that they had here onto Desert Rat Caves. Definitely want to be careful there, boys. That is not a friendly sight to see as you go ahead and peek yourself over that corner, seeing that tiger. And with that point, recap goes to Goat. Goat now leading 3-2 over RMC here in this initial matchup. So about 15 minutes in, we've already had 2 captures here. RMC able to get out and get the initial. Goat able just to take it here just a few minutes later, but with a good response here. RMC already going on the pedal, gas to the metal. Pedal to the metal. That's the saying. Pedal to the metal. Getting lots of bodies back in here, trying to go immediately for a recap. Classy and Whippy Ohio trying to hold that front line. Yeah, from Whippy. Flying right by the blueberries. Good squad movement, though, for Classy and Whippy. Classy covering Whippy Ohio's retreat, able to get him to some safer ground and cover here in the back line. Oh, and Maddie is able to go ahead and take out Whippy. Just like Goat did, RMC being very disciplined, getting a lot of OPs right back up, which has really enabled their ability to get back up onto this point. Like no garrison up on the board yet in the middle of hard cap for Goat, which could be one of the main reasons why they're having such a hard time at the moment trying to keep people in. But already looking at the victory here on the cap race. We're on the cap pressure here. Axis supplies dropping on in. As an allied bomb, not an allied, but bombing run. Yes, allied bombing run does end up coming through here. Unsure if it got a garrison, but based off the placement, I bet that it probably did. As Goat's able to get enough bodies into the cap to defend it for the time being. See that allied artillery, Axis artillery starting to land just to the north of the trenches. Multiple explosions going off, and Brimer able to take out that little cherry. Appreciate you guys again for joining us. Hopefully everything is looking good and sounding good on your side. Spent some time here at Falcon Studios over since our broadcast yesterday, trying to clear up our settings with our microphone, making sure you guys get that good crisp sound without any of the additional fades in and outs. Had some noise gate settings that caused some issues yesterday in a matchup that I streamed. We were hoping that is all eliminated today, and based on our initial tests here, appears to have been working. But you never know. Once you get into a match, it gets a little hard to go ahead and get that verified. Make sure it's all continuing to work the way that you thought it did pregame. So dust starts to settle in, nearing 50% of the way. Cap progress, flipping back and forth between taking and defending. Looks like the Axis did lose their tank in the north, and it has been replaced by a Churchill that was able to go ahead and get out of damage's way. As that Commander Peace Strike here barely misses that Churchill to the north, doing a good amount of damage, but unfortunately not sending it to the scrapyard. Now we're gonna have to go ahead and get below the weather here. Do some close-up fighting streaming here. Go ahead and focus on Andios here as he is laced around by machine gun fire here. Lord Banana Jesus going off with the MP40. Looking at Sergeant San Martin. That progress still coming in favor of RMC. Lord Banana Jesus trying to do everything he can to continue just to keep those goat cherries down from allowing them to get into the hard cap. Reinforce not down, most likely not quite available yet for Commander. Let's see. I gotta take a look and see who's commanding on that side. Few people that it could be. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at that here in a moment once things kind of settle down from this push. Gotta just keep moving to keep that camera nice and clean here. Now, it's pretty devastating for us to go ahead and look through it. But let's go ahead and take a look through some of the eyes of these players as they continue to look to try to hold off. Lucky Bats, we're going to come in on your view here. Looks like not able to get the gun loaded in, but we do see a little bit of what he looks like. Things look like from his perspective. That view being definitely very much obscured. As he goes ahead and backs behind that sand bag right there, getting a little extra cover here. So it's still not able to fully establish the entire cap sector here, as it's been back and forth since they've really captured the point. They have been able to establish a garrison to the north, so they are starting to get a little bit more anchorage here into the point. Strafing around going on over the head here. But finally, the dust is clearing up. Sight lines are going to open up. And we'll see if RMC has what they need to be able to get the rest of this point capture going here. Hubson Chavito. Chavito going down. Tube's able to get one. Lucky Bats, though, able to dodge the bullets. 10 Sean, not to be confused with Mr. 9 Sean of from 9th fame. Goes for the rocket shot, but ricochets it off the front of the Churchill. Definitely trying to put the fear of God into Churchill, but Churchill is having none of that. Still a good shot to be able to pop up like that and pop that rocket off just to get contact on to the enemy armor. A very good shot there, 10 Sean. Well done. Nearing 90% of the way capped here, RMC looks to have finally got the push they needed to go ahead and get Goat out of the sector here, as Goat's been forced entirely into the northern area, which would be based around where their garrison one was, which is no longer there. Flipping it back to RMC, leading 3-2 here, with just over 1 hour remaining here in this matchup between Goat and RMC here. The Goat seems to have dominated the entire northern portion of this map, doing very well at keeping RMC out of the area, which has allowed them to go ahead and get that pressure immediately back on. Lord Banana Jesus taking out Whippy, Ohio, blessing him with the gift of bananas. Classy able to go ahead and retreat back. Pocket watch out, no doubt trying to get an OP right back up for his men. Appears to have just been killed before he can go ahead and get that up, as he most likely is on a cooldown timer. Just trying to hold that as Lord Banana Jesus emerges from his rock tunnel triumphantly here after getting that kill on Whippy, Ohio. Both teams resorting to throwing exploding rocks at each other. Seems ammo supplies may be running a little low for them. That would be one fun feature here in Hell Let Loose. You ran out all your ammo, all your grenades and whatnot. Give you the ability to throw your helmet like in the movie Saving Private Ryan. Wouldn't be able to kill anybody, but hey, comedic effect would be off the charts. Hey, man can dream, right? Zooming back out, let's go ahead and take a look at the armor situation. How we are currently looking. Goat has one Churchill currently on the field. Does not appear that RMC has any armor here at the moment. The Goat slowly and surely working people out of the sector here as they're wrapping around. H squad and N squad appear to be on some type of fight here right below us. Spotter on spotter. Luke able to get the shot in behind him. With that, they're going to save the garrison for the time being. Commander Wanjo here for the Goat side. Pepper seems to have been popped off the top of that roof. Top of that cliff. Lord Banana Jesus taking out Whippy, Ohio once again. May have been Biggie, but for the sake of fun, we're going to say that Lord Banana Jesus is now 2 up on Whippy at least. Go ahead. We're going to look at a fun angle here. Going to get the head down top of the area. One of the views I like to do here in the Falcon Studios broadcast. This allows you to get a good dividing line here without going into the map per se to see exactly where they are. Plus, you get the added advantage of kind of seeing the topography of the map, which you don't always get from the map itself if you were to pull it up and see it on the 2D. Recon plane for RMC going up above, illuminating those cherries as much as possible. Like they were able to get a couple of them off of that recon. As you can see here, we can see the real-time update of where those soldiers are. But when the recon plane went over, you can see it lags a little bit behind. Something to remember if you're at home watching, playing the game. Those cherries most likely are going to be moving around. Especially tanks. If you see tanks off of that, you got to make sure that you're accounting for it and have a good live ping on it. Mole finding himself at home right in the middle of the tunnels. A little afraid to exit, not wanting to leave the shadow that he's found inside of there. No doubt dipping the temperatures down a little bit from the scorching sun of the desert. A Mole looks like he got shot out of his hole here. Gonna have to go back to the redisplay screen. Wait his time to come back in. The Goat doing very well to get themselves back up into this point. Let's see if RMC has been able to start getting people into that front portion. Looks like they have gotten a front side garrison to get a good launching off point into medical hospital. But the Goat onslaught just still being a nuisance to them as they continue to put pressure onto the point. Now going in favor of RMC on the defending side. Just like that. I got some RMC, some Goat guys coming off of garrison spawn in the north. We can see they are just about to be met by some arty from the Axis side. Speaking of which, arty, often a position that goes relatively without camera time. So I like to, as I see it available, hop on in, give these guys their dues. They prep just as much as many of these guys, if not more, so they can know exactly where their shells are landing. Sergeant Liam in all of his glory, lifting those heavy artillery shells. Lining up the shot, making sure it's perfect. Go ahead and see if we can track his shot in here. Boom. We're not going to see it, but we're going to see where it lands. Takes approximately 15 seconds, 15, 20 seconds for that shell to land. There it is. There's that shell. It goes high up into the air, landing just short of the garrison that they keep spawning off of there in the north. Take a look here at 8th Army Medical Hospital, just see what it looks like before we go and look at the Allied artillery gunner. Here's that garrison that was on the front door here for RMC, no longer exists. That's fair. My brain was trying to comprehend why this garrison was locked out here for RMC because nobody was even around it. That's because it is an Allied garrison. Makes sense. Too used to seeing things on my map. If I see that garrison lit up and locked out, somebody's got to be right there. But it looks like Goat having to be forced off of a garrison spawn to the south. Comes off in droves. Only having one garrison to the north, one garrison to the south. No longer anything in the middle to help them continue to push off. RMC really needs to get some guys up here on top of this hill. Really prevent these guys here from GOAT from getting up into the point again. They've done so well to keep him out and keep that point in their favor. Whippy, Ohio again falling on his face in the desert sand. No doubt raging just a little bit, as he probably did not see where that shot came from. He may have played with him once or twice to know if that may or may not be the case. Witch Ho back here. Getting shots off. Also another member of the TPL stream team. Both him and Whippy Ohio invite you to go ahead and take a look at some of their streams. Championship weekend going on for the divisions 5 through 9, I believe, this last weekend. Big upsets, Division 7, Division 8, with DLB winning out Division 7. DZLD, I believe, taking the championship in Division 8 over 11 ID. Both very good matches with the whole distance. Plenty of last-minute caps. Both, I believe, were streamed by Smithers, who by many is considered the GOAT of the Hell Let Loose streaming community. Maybe one day I'll grow up and be like him. We'll see. Don't quite have the silky smooth Smithers voice, though. Moving up on Allen. Lining up the shot. Allen able to go ahead and eliminate him. The Classy heard the shots. Is he going to peek? Gets the OP up. Classy lands it on Lieutenant Colonel Allen, winning the battle. Protecting his OP, living to fight another day. Like a go airhead appears to be landing in the north. Will it go unnoticed here? Here's that Pit Hazoka and Kirk, sold Kurt. Both see it falling down. Hazoka beelining it to the garrison here. The fall on the far side of the wire, it does. Hazoka, though, able to move on up. Hazoka running right by said airhead. Oh no, Hazoka. Turn around, mate. The big box with the tarp over there, mate. Oh no, Hazoka. You were so close. I wonder if you pulled your map up right at the wrong time. But we're going to have a spawn wave off of this. Big spawn wave for GOAT. Oh. Okay. Here's your sign, Night Falcon. Here's your sign. Hazoka was GOAT. Hazoka was GOAT. Oh boy. All right, take my caster card. Give it up. I'd like to say I was colorblind. Definitely not colorblind. Airhead still up as Whippy Ohio and Cazador. Able to go ahead and keep it up. Smoke falling on in. Another spawn wave for GOAT. Sold Kirk, though. Able to get around the backside, taking out that northern garrison. Good work on his part to go ahead and get that there. Toxic Viper stinging in the back. The Cazador quickly saying none of that. So this airhead now going to continue to spawn. Garrison is up for GOAT. Going to open up that second front with the airhead play here for GOAT. Will RMC continue to be able to react as more and more bodies come off of the north? Whippy, Ohio eyeing the entire valley here from the top of the high ground. Tiger Take moving on up. Whippy, Ohio not aware that it's currently to its right. Able to get the blueberry out of the way. Not going to have anything to be able to do against that OP, though, once the Tigers is able to go ahead and take that out. Hold my beer and crew looking to come and make some problems here for GOAT. Moving triumphantly here into the point, holding up. Garrison eliminated here for Goat. Airhead still able to spawn. Might only have 1 or 2 more spawns off of it. As Classy also falls victim to the MG gun. Dark Fiend trying to do everything he can on that MG gun. But wisely stepping away from the tank. Go ahead and take away some of these additional background sides. Looking to try to get Satchel on it. Lucky Bats. Gonna be able to get it. Lucky Bats on with the quick Satchel play here. Moke from his teammates coming in huge as that tank decides to stop right in the middle of the smoke. Whippy Ohio ricocheting off the side. Tank wisely deciding to back up, unknown to him that he is satcheled at the moment. Got about 15 seconds and nobody is making any movement towards this Tiger to know or notify them that they are satcheled. It appears they are not aware of it at the moment either, as they now go up in smoke. Good satchel by Sergeant Lucky Bats. Go ahead and get that Tiger tank removed from the conversation. It looks like an Axis airhead was put up here, but Kurt sniffing it out here with Suzuka. Able to go ahead and get that removed. Sold Kurt appears to just be having the Bloodhound nose here for enemy spawn points. With that, RMC is going to continue to be able to bleed people out of the north here. Just weed them out as they continue to move. Still having 2 garrisons up, got himself set up very nicely. Should be able to get right back up onto that point. Even though they were able to get people out onto the area, Go unable to get cap pressure. As RMC continues to hold that point well in their favor. Now, looking to the south side, it does look like we might be starting to see a little bit of contested here on Hospital. RMC having to go very, very wide here around the outside. So being very concentrated up here in the middle, which in a 35s match you would expect, as you don't really expect to see a 35s group go coast to coast, unless they're just insane out of the world, can shoot everybody from 200 meters kind of things. You just don't have enough people. Yeah. Anyway, RMC able to get some good pushes here off the southern side. Garrison has to be lighting up down here once, of course, the RMC guys get in the area. So Goten having to know for sure people are down there. Cap progress starting to come in as snow gets closer and closer to the hard cap here. Goat still has a garrison on point. As Ash lines up the shot, taking out the driver. Just narrowly missed the engine block where he would need to have placed that shot to be able to get it to go in one solid swoop here. Oh, and unfortunately, it appears that the Allied cars and transport trucks, supply trucks, are heavily armored in today's matchup. As Ash is not able to destroy that truck. Ash, I'm with you. I don't know, buddy, how that truck did not explode. Yeah, I'm just as flabbergasted as you are there. Putting 3 rockets into it. Not enough, I guess, to get out these supply trucks here for the British side. But this push coming out here on the 3rd, 4th point here. Causing some defenders for the Goat side to go ahead and pop back here into the point. Goat now completely surrounded by cherries, just trying to hide and hold his position. Lord Banana Jesus, having emerged from the caves in the north, now making his way into the town. But Pando appears to have been able to take him out. Goat defenders trying to hold that line as well as possible. Pepper, though, able to take out Pando. As a couple and more RMC attackers are able to get themselves over across the line, killing that supply drop there for the goat side. But now completely owning this sector up here, looking very good overall. RMC now starting to get themselves set up here in the front. Wouldn't be surprised to see some type of garrison go up here in this area. Should be about 200 meters away from that other garrison to the north. Once they're able to get that, that'll essentially lock that front door down for them. As they are currently trying just to weed out this northern portion of goat cherries pushing onto the point. Gaborone staring down the tank as this little Stuart tries to go up against this P4, but to no avail. Cazador trying to do everything he can to get this, keep this Stuart up as the Panzer IV continues to be bouncing and ricocheting off the front of that little Stuart tank, both exchanging plenty of blows. I do not know. Are we having issues with vehicle penetration here or something? Or does he keeps hitting him just in the turret? That Stuart's lived a lot longer than he should have lived so far. Ricocheting again off the front. I'm baffled. As the Stuart goes up in smoke, finally Panzer IV able to go ahead and get his kill. Tank commander holding my beer. Finally, happy to see that little Stuart go up. Hizoka learning everything he learned from his master. Sold Kurt, finding himself on top of the garrison once again. Should be shielded from any potential strafing run that comes in, but you never know. He's looking just outside the active in-place sector, so that will be a long burn garrison as Pitt counts the seconds here. Hopefully before this garrison goes away, as Sergeant Better James starts to mow him down, able to get him just in time. Kurt narrowly missing the shot to be able to save Hizoka. No doubt Hizoka not being very happy as he returns to the reload screen. All right. Thank you guys again very much for joining us today. I'm casting for you today here, Mr. Night Falcon. Casting from my home base, Falcon Studios. In this week 4 matchup here between RMC and GOAT in the Winter War League. Now, it looks like one of the abilities that they have in Winter War League is to pull out the SPA, but it does not appear that either team has one out at the moment. Both electing just for the one static artillery gun. Maybe thinking with how spread out things are, it wouldn't be as beneficial, but nonetheless, no SPAs at the moment. As the weather starts to move on, dust settling over the battlefield. Commander Wanjo merging from the top of the hill, able to take out Major Biggie, but Willie P. 1994 says nope. All shortly behind his kill. Just warfare in general. Eye for an eye. Oh, big arty shell comes on in, vaporizing the RMC defender. If you're liking what you're seeing, go ahead, give us a like. If you feel so inclined, give us a subscribe. We are just about to a total of 400 total subscribers here to my Falcon Studios channel, which gets us closer and closer to some additional features provided by the YouTube overlords at 500 subscribers. So if you're willing and able to go ahead and click that subscribe button, we very much would appreciate it here. Like the channel, subscribe. Doesn't necessarily help me keep my job, but lets me know that people enjoy seeing these Hello Loose matches streamed. They're a lot of fun to be able to provide to you. A lot of fun to play in. Definitely a lot of fun to play in. You're seeing this for the first time and are unfamiliar with competitive Hell Let Loose, welcome. Appreciate you guys being here as well. If you're interested in getting into this, there are teams located all around the world, and I'm sure they have spots available for you. Smithers recently launched a Discord server, if you were to go to his Smithers Cast server, where new players can try to find homes. I invite you to go ahead and do so, as that'll provide you plenty of good resources on how you can find a team that fits your needs, fits your style of play. You can get out and join this wonderful competitive esports environment that we all love and enjoy here. Got progress now nearing 50% of the way here for GOAT, trying to stay out of the dust storm a little bit, try to keep us into the action. Whippy Ohio doing what he does, holding into that cave bunker system very well. Able to eliminate all RMC defenders. Cresting over the top. Misses an initial shot, but having to dip below so he himself does not get shot. Whippy just about to run into a lot of blueberries here. And unfortunately, 3 were way too many for Whippy there. As just to point this out for a second, Lieutenant Colonel Alan G. The G here, man, for excellent supply placements. Right down the middle of the chute here in the donut trench. Very good job, my friend. Be able to prep that and know exactly where you need to drop it to keep that safe. And continue to navigate away from this weather as it's just starting to come in strong here, this sandstorm. Goat currently fighting through a reinforce in the backside. We did start to see some cap pressure, and it is continuing to be contested here on the back medical hospital. However, once that reinforce goes down, should start seeing some cap progress go back in favor of the RMC side. Swinging on over to the north here, where we have a number of gunfights going on. Cherries and blueberries falling on both sides. Whippy Ohio again moving into a new position, lines up on Lieutenant Colonel there, taking him out. Where, oh where, Mr. Whippy Ohio, could you be going? Go ahead and eliminate that sunburn there for you, taking off the highlight. Get this cinematic shot of you just running across the desert. Coming face to face with a Panzer IV. Panzer IV is going to win that battle every time there, Whippy. Sorry, buddy. And there we have it. Cap progress starting to come back in over on Medical Hospital. Reinforce looks to have now been pretty much all the way eaten through. Lord Banana Jesus, Ash, Pepper, and Spiky leading the charge with Finzi right behind. A strafing run coming in on the friendly side over Desert Rat Cave's southern edge. See how many of those little red cherries disappear. Looks like we got 1, maybe 2 that disappeared through the course of that strafing run. And with that kill, cap progress typically back in favor of GOAT. San Martin already getting shots off of that side of the wall. Ash, though, just trying to stay safe right in the middle of point as more and more of his teammates continue to be mowed down around him. How big will Lieutenant Colonel Alan G go? Will he continue to send guys off at the front? As you have the momentum, it might be a good idea to be able to do so. But Alan G knows his troops better than I do. Knows it is not quite yet a time to panic, potentially, as we do start to see cap progress come in for go on center point. Mario! Up on top of the top of the roof here, firing his rocket. Says, here's a power up for you. But unfortunately missing all of the blueberries in the area. Mario all alone now here on the hard cap. No spawns in the area for go. Now nearing 66% of the way capped. RMC looks to be putting the pressure on for the time being. Goat calling in the tanks from the north, looking to try to get additional pressure here to try to save and preserve this point. RMC needing to use this advantage, even if they don't finish the cap here, which it looks like they very well could. Get themselves established to continue pushing bodies up into the point. 80% of the way capped. Wanjo desperately tries to keep his team into this fight here. Rocket narrowly missing Wanjo. Words might have been said there if Sergeant Nico was the one that got that one. With that, RMC goes up 4-1 over Goat here with 34 minutes to play here. He just joined us. RMC was able to go ahead and get up on the initial cap at the start of the match. Fought there for just a little bit, and before Goat themselves were able to go ahead and get themselves up on to a 3-2 lead. But due to some very good discipline here from the RMC side, they were able to go ahead and get bodies right back into point and began capping it very quickly. From there, we went 3-2 back in favor of RMC, which leads us now to the 4-1 lead, with fifth being contested at the moment for RMC. I Squad, the only man in the back right now. Snow trying to get himself set up so that the rest of his team can spawn in. Commander Wanjo trying desperately to do the same as well for his side. Like a number of Goat defenders came off of a transport truck on the backside, trying to get themselves up into road. Snow's going to be able just to continue to flicker on back, as it looks like a Goat supply drop landing all the way to the north. Moving back on over, RMC doing very well to box out this hard cap. Goat, having come off garrisons just outside to the eastern side, have gotten bodies back in, but you can see the hard cap. Go ahead and talk with our drawing tool here. Our hard cap pretty much goes down and around and through this sector. Maybe a little bit more conservative here. Right around here. So you can see RMC doing very well at holding this whole sector right here of that hard cap, really boxing out Goat, preventing them from being able to get in and get that extra cap advantage here. Garrison is up for RMC, and with that should be able to continue to get spawns off of it. And there you can see the eastern side of the hard cap slowly start to crumble here, and Goat is able to finally get bodies in, tilting cap progress in their favor. I Squad still all alone up there on the road to the Sensuri mine. So far, Garrison able to stay up in the backside as a strafing run comes in through on the BF 109. Good old Messerschmitt. Caused a lot of problems for the Allies in World War II, if I remember right. But the Brit themselves had some pretty good planes. Spitfire being their kind of flashy one. All right, as we round 30 minutes, as I like to do here on the Falcon Cast, make sure you got yourself some type of beverage out there. I do it only simply because I'm looking out for your health, and if I don't remember it for myself, I forget to do it. It's hard to talk for an hour and a half. But here's your 30-minute hydration break reminder. Take a good old swig there. Cheers to the final 30 minutes of this matchup between RMC and GOAT. So just to give everybody a nice little insight into what we're seeing here on the scoreboard so far, Whippy, Ohio leading out with kills over the entire lobby with 80 of them at the moment. Captain Bristol running with 60. Cabo Chavito with 49, rounding out our top 3 at the moment. So Whippy, Ohio starting to put a lot of distance between himself and the others. And based off of his current position here, right in the middle of the hard cap sector on Hospital, goes to show you how many people he probably has very well seen here. Ooh, Whippy, Ohio though, got a big boom boom pouch in his hand. Mr. Whippy, Ohio, will you be able to get that down? Listening, trying to use his elf sense to know if he is within range of that garrison. It might just be right on the outside of the range. Whippy, Ohio doing everything he can. Needs to come out of his meditation pose here very quickly as Whippy, Ohio is very close to Toxic Viper. But saved by the arty gun. Whippy, Ohio able to stay in his trance-like pose, staring at the wall. Just kind of enjoying the overall architecture, I guess, of it. Apparently in Britain, they do not have too many blue generic doors like they have here in Tobruk. He's not timed out. He still shows as active. Oh, that is why. All right, now he just timed out of the match here. So Whippy, Ohio is going to be disappearing here. Need to flip right back in because that will be a major kill for GOAT if he's not able to get right back in. Don't worry, Whippy. Your body is nice, safe, and secure here. As he disappears into the oblivion, Thanos snaps himself into the void. So right now, GOAT doing pretty well at trying to continue to put pressure on at this point. Garrison's coming off of this backside, really able to go ahead and push their way back into the point. RMC, though, really owning that front door and putting a lot of pressure on this medium Crusader right here for the Allies, making it difficult for them to just get more and more armor into the point. And just like that, we start to see it go away. Most likely, Wolfie able to get a satchel up on there. What is the armor situation looking like currently for the allies? Got one heavy tank, one tiger, and we've got a medium that's dancing here with J Squad. Hold my beer, asking for some assistance from his tiger tank to go ahead and clear off this little gnat, as he is all by himself. Hold my beer, going for the kill, is able to pop out. Kill him when he least expected it. Hold my beer, able to go ahead and make the play. Happy I was able to go ahead and get up there, Mr. Beer. You can go ahead and get that shot there. Very well done. Time it when he least expects it. But with that, Pitt's able to go ahead and turn a rocket right on him. Missing the second shot, Pitt has one more rocket to potentially kill this Panzer IV. Will he be able to get it as that Tiger is firing over, trying to support him? It's like for the time being, Beer is going to be able to get away. Rocket fired, barely missing. Hit going for the jugular there. As Wanjo looking to set their team up here for a quick push back onto Deseret Caves if they're able to go ahead and mount their comeback here on 8th Army Medical Hospital. RMC still doing a very good job at holding all of the entirety of that hard cap sector. Valero taking out Tubes. Whippy, Ohio, though, back into the matchup. Going for the melee. Stabs them in the kneecap. Says, take that, you server. I get my victory. Looks like he came back with some plot armor as he took a bullet, but dished it right back out with the help of his bolt action. Healing himself up, Whippy, Ohio continues his Terminator-like approach. Because we do not have the budget today, or the interns decided to disable all of the weapons in our first-person view streams. So we can go ahead and do this with our handy-dandy laser pointer in the third person, give you guys a good idea of where Whippy, Ohio currently is sitting with his sights. And no, my friends, that is not simply the map that's jumping you around. That is Whippy, Ohio, and his aiming. Don't know how he does it. But the ADHD is strong with this one. Able to flick very quickly onto things. With that, we'll leave our fascination with Whippy, Ohio here and step back into the overhead view as Goat now starts to make cap progress on the southern edge here. No garrison currently on point for RMC, so RMC having to flood a lot of bodies back, just as it appears they may have had some type of supply drop. Oh, nope, not theirs. Okay, so Goat has the supply drop coming up in the back. Cap progress still in favor of Goat, as we see it contested on the backside line, L Squad being the only person in the hard cap sector. Whippy, Ohio still staying alive, taking out plenty of little blueberries with him. Just like that, Wolfie appears to have been able to turn around and eliminate him. Okay, we're nearing 30%, 1/3 of the way capped here. Or Goat. Will they be able to turn this around really quickly? If they're able to go ahead and get this back up, or will the RMC be very disciplined? Try to catch Goat with their pants down as a large spawn wave for RMC comes off of the garrison front door. Landing the supplies on the roof once again in a protected spot. Lieutenant Colonel Alan G., our commander over here, safely landing those supplies back in the area where they cannot be taken out very easily. And just with that, defensive pressure now back going in favor of RMC. As now they have one Tiger tank pushing right up the gut, supported by their medium tank from the north. One Crusader tank for the Allies. Not Crusader. Got the little Honey Stewart up at the top, and then the Churchill. That's the C1 I was looking for. For the time being, RMC appears to have gotten themselves back up on the defensive side. Cat favor going very much back into their favor. Darkfiend doing what he can with that Lewis gun here. Man is deadly behind a machine gun. Pulling a giant magazine out of who knows where. Don't want to know where he had that. Because we know it did not come out of a pack. Hey, whatever he's doing, it works for him. More power to him. Biggie, though, able to take out Darkfiend in Whippy, Ohio. Responding in kind. RMC doing very well again at boxing out their point here as Goat and their advance appear to have been eliminated. Now, no forward garrison quite yet for RMC. RMC with 20 minutes left in this matchup. We'll need to start putting on some stuff up in that direction. Get some support players to start dropping some boxes. They hope to try to get on top of that 5-0. Repeat their performance from last time. Go ahead and just zoom in, get an idea of what defenses, if any, currently look like here up on the final point. Only garrison Goat currently has is located on the borders. So we have a bombing run coming on in to the point. Where is that bombing? Nope, not a bombing run, simply a recon plane. My apologies. If you haven't catched us up to this point, I'll give you a quick recap going into the last 18 minutes of this matchup. RMC able to go ahead and get up on that initial, cap, taking the early 3-2 lead. Started putting a little bit of pressure here on 8th Army Medical Hospital, but Bill was able to go ahead and keep pounding into them. Eventually, they were able to go ahead and take mid-cap point of Desert Rat Caves. But RMC being very helpful and disciplined with their OP placements. Officers got them immediately right back up, allowing for all of their guys to go ahead and spawn back in, get back into the point very relatively quickly. And that allowed RMC to get right back up onto the point, cap it pretty much immediately back from Goat. And then slowly just push and go out, leading us to the 4-1 lead right now for RMC over Goat in this Week 4 matchup here of the Winter War League. Anybody that's interested, I will be including a link to the Discord in the description, where if you are interested in joining any of these Hell Let Loose competitive teams, you can potentially find a team there to be able to play with, or just simply follow along on the action. And as you guys watch these final minutes in the comments, feel free to put your thoughts of the Hell Let Loose competitive sphere. We've got a lot coming on here in 2026 with various leagues starting, finishing, some that are new, some that are not new, new games, new maps, new modes, lots of different things. Put your thoughts in the comments, what you feel like your thoughts are on the competitive scene of Hell Let Loose. Are you optimistic on how it will be able to move forward in the Hell Let Loose Vietnam moving forward? Because there will no doubt be something, because this player base has a lot of fun with the competitive side. But how will it look? Think the Americans might be too overpowered for the NVA? Or do you feel like they're going to do a good job of balancing everything out to try to keep things very kind of competitive? It will be asymmetrical, but will they keep it competitive? That is the question. How will it look? Because here in Hell Let Loose World War II, things can be a little bit more proportional. Sides, you mean you get a heavy tank, you get a heavy tank for one side, you get it for the other one, arty for one side, one arty for the next. Like, teams for the relative part are balanced in some way, with a few differences around the weaponry that each team uses. Cap progress now coming in on the 5th point here, as it appears RMC got a giant airhead here in the back. Spawn waves big coming off of there, but it looks like the Churchill was able to go ahead and weed out whatever was there. KOP now being the only thing back there. Will they be able to get more and more OPs? C and L squads able to get some up as well. We have ourselves a good old cap race here, as we are nearing 35-40% of the way capped here on the 5th and final point. RMC pushing in hard. But Goat also making progress on Medical Hospital. If Goat's able to get enough bodies back into the area, will they be able to keep that pressure up enough on Hospital to allow them to get into the point? Cap progress being stalled here on the backside as Goat pushes off the eastern side. Right into the hard cap. Take unaware here for the Axis, that Panzer IV, unaware that they are there, as more and more rockets continue to fly in, damaging it. Another rocket landing just south from, just below the tank from Sergeant Nico. Sergeant Nico taking plenty of infantry, but unfortunately missing. Cap progress now coming back in favor of RMC. RMC 50% of the way capped on it now. However, Goat able to stall it out long enough, are currently sitting 55% of the way capped here on Medical Hospital. So we have an exciting last couple minutes here. Will RMC be able to get enough bodies back? Reinforce is down, which is going to act as a force multiplier for them. Will they be able to get enough bodies back into the point to allow that cap progress to stall? Get some defensive pressure back, and they do. Tilting it back just as we crossed over the 75% mark. Cap progress still going in favor of RMC. Goat maybe devoting a little bit too many here, as RMC now takes the advantage here on the cap race. Still moving in favor of RMC. Having more and more bodies eliminated. Stalling out cap pressure on the 5th point. Goat now back in the lead. We are back and forth teeter-tottering here. Will Goat be able to push it over the edge? Reinforce still up and available, only about halfway through for RMC. So the more bodies they can get in, they should be able to stall it out. As RMC now getting cap pressure back on the 5th point. Will they stall it out? Yes, they do. They stall it out here on the defensive point. Opening the door again for the 5th point. Oh, just like that, Goat is able to clear it out, though. Goat very much on the cusp here of being able to get this back to 3-2. But RMC taking back closer and closer. Oh, just as they were about to take the lead on the cap race. Ladies and gentlemen, they able to get in and defend. RMC back on top. Advantage RMC. Nearing the last final 5-6 seconds. Will RMC be able to close it out? Spawn in for Goat. With that final second, RMC able to finally come out on top. 5-0 victory here over Goat, but man, was it close right up to the very end. With that going either way, with the winning of a few different gun battles. What an ending to that matchup here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, as we're waiting for the final gaps and final seconds here for the scoreboard to flip over, something I'd like to do on the Falcon cast is to go ahead and pull up the stats here for us to be able to acknowledge and be able to just review exactly kind of how that match went in general. So let's go ahead. We'll pull that up now that that point has flipped. We'll get some background music here for us as well. All right, so there we have it. 5-0 victory here for the RMC side. It was very close, right up until the very end there, where they were finally able to get it over the edge. Whippy, Ohio finishing us out with 109 kills. Bristol, second place, 72. Snow, 57-3. All right, total infantry kills. So in favor of the Allies, 656. Axis, 746. So RMC holding the advantage there. Machine gunners for the Allied side, taking the edge over the MG42. Appears that, let's see, we have 5 MG players at least throughout the course of the match for the Allies. 4 over the course of the match with the Axis. Artillery, advantage going to the Axis. Armor as well. Sniper, though, all 54 going in favor of the Allies. Commander, 10-11. Pretty much balanced, edge going to GOAT there. But more bazooka kills. We definitely saw a lot of kills coming out. That does not appear, though, that it is correct. And maybe the POP for some reason isn't registering there, because we saw plenty of kills from the GOAT side as well. So that must not be working appropriately. Satchels, mines, and then here's the kill differentials. And so we can see, aside from Whippy, Ohio taking that first place, this rank differential takes the top killer on both teams and compares them to each other and tells you the differential between those. Second place, so on and so forth, all the way down the line. And for the majority of spots, it appears the RMC was able to go ahead and lead that. So the stats give the good story of the 5-0 victory there for how RMC was able to kind of be on top of everything throughout the course of the match. But ultimately, while they were down, they didn't give up. I mean, we were a matter of a few seconds away from them being able to pull that out as well on their side. So very much exciting. Could have really gone either way. We could still be playing the map right now. But with that, RMC eventually is going to get that into their profile there. And we get ourselves put right back here into the matchup. And so I appreciate you guys joining us again here on the Falcon Cast. I've been Night Falcon. Any likes, any subscribes you're able to provide are greatly appreciated. It goes a long way to be able to help the channel as we continue our quest to get more and more benefits here to benefit you guys on the streams and the overall community as a whole. So any thoughts that you wish to provide as we go ahead and close, feel free to leave them in the comments. Go ahead and give us a like on the stream if you liked it. And we appreciate all the feedback because it does help us improve. I'll remember next time to go ahead and get the game sound on there because idiot me didn't do that. Didn't forget the switch there. But anyway, we appreciate you guys joining us today. Again, I'm Night Falcon. Look forward to see you guys next time out there on the battlefield.